All right, I'm getting just a second. Just one minute to get myself situated here.
So Chris is not running again?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I wish I had known before. I hope I didn't go on the record. Some record there.
Good morning. Hey, ladies. Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Hi. How are you?
Hi, baby. How you doing?
Fine. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm. Just sit right there, darling.
Okay.
Have a seat here.
Okay. How's everybody?
Okay.
Thank you.
It's been about a year since I've seen you.
I know it has been.
Hello. How are you?
Okay, so I think we got everybody we need.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get Kim Green
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
by phone or by email. Let's see, is that
Okay.
she in by audio? Okay. Okay, so so Kim should be here by audio. Kim, can you hear me? And if so, can you say hello if we can pull that up on audio? And there's often a time lag with switching back and forth. All right, well, just in case. So, I'm going to try and alter it now.
I'm fine, thank you.
But Madam Chair, if you want to call the meeting to order. And this is, I want to introduce Ray Jeffries, who's going to be coming out. Ray, do you mind doing a roll call and just make sure everybody's here who's supposed to be here?
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Ray Jeffries, and I'm the new administrative aide here at the town of Bladensburg. I want to do a roll call. First is Owen Clark.
Here.
Hey, how you doing? Rita Burton.
Yeah.
Judy Saunders.
Sojourn.
Yeah. Joyce Williams. Good. Merlin. Catherine. Okay, everybody's here.
All right, I'm keeping it fairly quiet now. Sorry, I've got
Okay.
Kim Green here by FaceTime with technology.
Okay.
And there she is.
Hello.
Hi.
There's a hi from Kim Green. Those of you who were here meet Kim.
Hi.
She is the lead in our police communications department
Yeah.
and is helping out with this process as well.
Yes, knew she wasn't here. There's no donuts.
Oh, you're right. Stingy Bob did not get noticed. We'll take care of on election day.
Noodle for you.
Portion.
Okay. You want me to get ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead if you want to call the meeting to order.
Okay. Everyone, we have really met everyone, so we're about to call this meeting together on 8/25 of the town Board of Supervisors for the elections. The meeting will now come to order.
Fantastic. So there's a couple orders of business. One is the certification or consideration of the candidacy packet, and then any other matters that need to be dealt with regard to the election. So you've been provided with a packet with each candidate certificate. And there are 2 candidates for mayor, 3 candidates for Ward 1, and 3 candidates for Ward 2.
Okay, Mr. Owens, let's not start.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
Am I seeing this correctly?
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes,
are.
that's all you are.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. We'll talk
thought-
about it later.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Absolutely.
So, as part of the candidate filing, and as we discussed at your last meeting, we used the same forms that were used in the prior elections changing the dates. We did notice, as in the course of putting those out, the campaign finance form had a couple of typos in it, so those were fixed. And the campaign finance reporting form also had a misprint in there, so those were also corrected. None of those forms is due immediately. The campaign committee form is due 10 days after filing, and the campaign finance report is, the first report, 25 and 20 days prior to the election. And those are relatively new processes in the town, and since my last tour here, I was not familiar with those. We've had some staff turnover, but we've got our arms around things. Everything's going well. With Kim's assistance and Ray's assistance and Diane at the front desk, we are well equipped to help you all navigate these processes. So as far as the filing packets, there's a couple observations. One, the candidate filing forms are here. Staff have reviewed those. They appear to be in order. The candidate financial disclosure forms are up on the council dais, and to protect the privacy of the individuals, we could, they were all notarized and submitted with the correct page counts. You could delegate one among yourselves to look at them. There is a, if they are viewed, that needs to be disclosed you viewed them, but that is a reasonable part of your process. So you can decide how you want to handle that, whether you want to delegate that to staff as per your last motion. But we would treat those very confidentially, and at the end of this meeting, they'll be put in sealed envelopes, and if anybody requests them, they will fill out a Public Information Act request, and then be
Do I
able to
have
those
to
documents.
examine each one of them, or just one of them in particular? Each one of them?
You could do so if you wish. Yeah, just take a stroll along this. There's 2 and 3 and 3. And Madam Chair, I'm just going to direct people's attention to a couple other things in the packets that were prepared. There's copies of sections of the charter with highlighted sections, and those are new insertions in the charter relating to that last sentence highlighted on page 2. Says a candidate for mayor must provide evidence of residency within the town's corporate limits, such as a mortgage, lease, tax return, or other government document. And then the same is true for council members. Candidate for council member on page 3, section 203B of the charter. Candidate for council member must provide evidence of residency within the town's corporate limits and the to represent, such as a mortgage, lease, tax return, or other government document. So very similar language with those. So because that was not in place with checklists to guide actions at the time of filing right now, it's the recommendation to make candidates aware of those conditions and ask them to provide the required documents, whatever required documents, and then you can go through an evaluation process to satisfy that residency requirement and then affirm the candidates. So whatever process you desire for doing that, we can help facilitate, but not all candidates were aware of this change because, again, we only put out the 6 documents that were used at the last election, and that guided staff's actions in soliciting this. So I'm open to your thoughts and wishes on the process for obtaining those documents. And again, staff is happy to communicate that to each candidate using the same exact content to say, here's the documents we need and here's what you need. We would anticipate doing the same for the financial disclosure obligations and the timelines and deadlines for those, because those deadlines were not provided in the initial candidate package.
Did each candidate turn in a disclosure form?
Each candidate did turn in a financial disclosure form.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I thought that was required for the last election to the disclosure for financial form. Wasn't a part of the requirement for last election?
It was.
The financial disclosure forms were,
Yeah.
but not the proof of residency.
Okay.
Yep.
These are the forms that are for the candidates that are running.
Correct.
So if they this packet here, they're not running.
Exactly.
That is our
So-
understanding. Yep.
Chris isn't running anymore.
Chris,
Ward 1.
Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Mendoza, okay, he's not running. And what about Jacqueline Rowe?
Not up yet.
Oh, okay,
Hers and Merlin, their terms are not up.
okay, all right,
All right, Ms. Blunt, Rock, no, their
okay,
terms
all
not
right.
up.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's just the three at the top.
Okay.
Mhm.
I forget that they're uneven terms.
I don't have to sign off on anything on those.
No, I mean, as long as you verified them, and if the board is satisfied with your verification of that process, that process is up to you.
So if someone was to write in, that had to happen before the deadline as well?
So the write-in candidate regulations are a slightly separate variation, and I believe they're restricted to if there's no filed candidates.
Exactly, that's what it
Oh.
says.
So since that is not the case,
Okay.
the write-in provisions, I believe, would not apply to this election. But again, I think that's in here. I think that's actually in the code. And in the packet with the deadlines that we provided to you last time, it does list a filing deadline for submittal of the financial disclosure form for write-in candidates. That's section
August 9th.
312, and that would be September 27th.
Right.
So 312. Okay, it's section 311 on this numbering. No votes for anyone who is a candidate shall be counted. In votes are counted if the individual receiving the vote has filed a declaration of intent to be a write-in candidate with the Board of Elections. The deadline for a write-in candidate to file a declaration of intent and required ethics forms is 4 p.m. the Monday immediately preceding the election. Chief supervisor, etc. So that would be another deadline on September 27th. If a write-in candidate were to emerge, that would be the deadline for that.
Okay.
And again, that's on this document.
Okay, in talking to Mr. Matom today, he suggested that the candidates need to file their registration of residency, and we need to give them a time in order to get it in. And then we need to have another meeting after they get it in. So my suggestion is, we need to give them a time limit. Do we give them a week, 2 weeks, or what? To submit that.
I think a week is adequate.
Well,
It,
I
it,
would
it
say-
depends on what they have to document on the.
I know
format.
this is a bit late, but it should have been submitted at the time they did their financial disclosure.
It should have been, but
It should have been filed at the same time, at the same date. All forms should be submitted by the same date.
a lot of them weren't. And like you said, there's a lot of new candidates that did not know that. So we need to give them time to also submit theirs.
Well,
Now,
this-
like the regulars, probably the mayor and, Miss Lindsay, she knows because she ran again and
But-
this other
What
person.
is it that they have to prove?
What
What
does
is
it-
it that they have to gather?
Their proof of residence here in Bladensburg.
And that would include a
Yeah,
mortgage?
That's a lot.
Yes.
Mortgage,
Mortgage,
lease,
tax form,
tax
lease,
returns.
tax form, yeah.
That's right.
Okay, I say a week
A week
because
is- yeah, a
you
week.
have your mortgage.
Okay.
Right. I
If you're in
second
an
that.
apartment, you have a
I'll give them
lease.
15 days or 20 days. In the future, I say, the disclosure form, the proof
Should
of
be attached with
residency, and
everything.
all other forms are due the same date.
Time, yeah.
They should be due the same date.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
Yes.
yeah, and I would, hearing the consensus on that topic, I would suggest, having been in the business of operating elections and filling out forms and being a government bureaucrat for my career, I would suggest revising this form to include a checkbox at the bottom where the
Exactly.
staff, when the
I
staff
agree.
signs that they've received
Okay.
the document dated and the time, they could also have a checkbox that says financial disclosure form and proof of residency and actually list those documents.
And
I
also
agree.
If that
add,
makes sense, we can do
I
that.
agree.
very good, and also add to that form, or each form, the date that it's due, so they
Yeah.
can't say they did not know.
Yep.
I was gonna
A
suggest,
time limit, yeah.
then maybe there's a packet, maybe a one-page
Right.
packet that they pick up
Everything
at
is
City
here.
Hall, which lists the same thing you said, everything that is due,
It's checked, yeah.
and
They
when
need
it's
to-
due, and that there's no question, because if you want to run, you have to pick up this piece of paper or this packet, and in this, on this piece of paper or in this packet are all the requirements.
I think those are excellent suggestions, and in fact, Ray and I had communicated back and forth about a checklist that verifies, for
Everything,
each,
all the
for each of the
documents.
required documents, is it notarized, is it signed,
Exactly.
does it have
Right.
all the fields
Right.
filled out, et cetera.
Exactly.
So I think for transparency and in future elections, we're building on the institutional knowledge and the circumstances changed, so we have to adapt to that.
Right.
But I think a checklist would be extremely helpful. We can prepare a draft format for you to consider for use in future elections for a candidate filing packet.
That'll work.
But, yeah, I think that's.
That way, people can't say, well, I did not know, you didn't notify me. No.
Exactly. So everyone agrees on the check? Okay,
Agreed upon.
everybody, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it.
Opposed.
1, 2, 3.
Very good. And so building on that consensus, I heard discussion of several members talking about,
Hope we can do.
so if you reconvened at the same time week, would that
Okay.
make sense? And our folks.
Okay, so we're going to give them a week starting today.
Do they have the forms? The candidates, do they have them or they have
We
to
will,
come?
we
They
will
will
send that
submit
out.
the- they will
And
submit
we will provide the language directly from the charter and send it to all candidates to, here's the information we are seeking, please have it to us by, say, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock Wednesday morning next week, for example, and then it'll be here in time, we can make copies for you all. And
That'll work.
And those forms have to be notarized?
it's not a form, it's just a list of documents, so it would be a mortgage.
What we discussing, the address, the location, the address form, does it have to be notarized?
No.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Bringing proof of residency.
That doesn't have the proof of documentation, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Right,
doesn't have to be notarized.
Yeah.
okay. So that means that the candidate should have it in by the 2nd? Wednesday, yes.
You're dealing with a-
That's a Thursday.
you're dealing with
The
a-
first,
you're dealing
the
with a
first.
weekend, eh?
Okay.
Is that, um,
That's the 1st of September, September
that's not
1st.
the holiday weekend, is it?
Oh, God. It is the holiday weekend, Rob.
Well, so what I was saying was a week from today is a Wednesday, so that the holiday weekend shouldn't affect that.
Oh.
So I was assuming if you all met same time, a week from today,
Okay,
the deadline could be 10 a.m. on Wednesday. And I'm
Okay.
trying to pull up my calendar to see what day of the week that Wednesday
Well,
is.
Wednesday, the 1st of September.
it's the 1st of September.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
so if that works for you, I mean, whatever date you set, we will be here ready to go.
does everyone agree to that date or?
Yeah,
no?
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
they have until the 1st, okay.
Because
And we will
Labor Day
meet,
weekend is
Labor
what,
Day's
the
the weekend.
29th?
yeah, the weekend, the Labor Day is, that Monday, the 6th,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
so that weekend, yeah. Okay. So we'll meet again on September 5th at 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, September
September
1st at 2 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll notify these 8 candidates that they are to provide these documents by 10 a.m. on Wednesday, September 1st, and then this group will reconvene at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, September 1st.
Exactly.
Phew, thank you, okay. And we've got a checklist and our homework assignment. And, okay. Are there any other business items for consideration for the board? We do have absentee ballot request forms. I talked to Ms. McCauley yesterday, as I said. She seems to be enjoying her retirement and very much said to say hello to all. Said to say hello to all of you and was so grateful for your service. There's, per her, she said there's no impediment with putting that form on the website, so folks could download and use it themselves to request an absentee ballot.
But see,
So we will do that.
but sometimes even at that, a lot of them don't have computers.
And we'll absolutely have paper forms
Okay.
here. If someone
Okay.
calls and requests it by mail, we
So-
would certainly send it out.
Right. So those will be out by when?
They're available now, and we'll get them put up on the website. So people could come to the front office and pick up copies here at Town Hall. Just push the bell outside the door. We're still officially closed to the public, but we will hand you forms through the door. We'll put them in the mail to you, and we'll make them available on the website, and that'll go out in air next.
I
Yeah.
haven't looked at the television on Channel 19. Is there a blurb on there that the absentee ballots are available?
I don't know, but we can absolutely put one
But,
on.
I mean, that would be, at least,
Yeah,
you
'cause a
would
lot of
be
them
able to
look at
know.
that. Yeah.
Yep. No, so that's a great point, and just building on that, with the other changes that are new, there was a recent change by resolution of the town council to extend the voting hours to 8 p.m. on
Right.
election day. So we want to be sure we're communicating that to voters as well.
Right.
So we've been incrementing these communications things, calling out the candidate deadline was the first benchmark. Now we would turn to the absentee ballots and then the polling hours. So all of that, is consistently in all of our communication, but we're highlighting the specific things as the deadlines approach.
And we also indicated at the last meeting that we're not going to have that problem like we had last year. Only one person per candidate in here. They're not going to be
Oh.
running back and forth in and out. So only
Okay.
one person to each candidate
Yes.
comes in, can be in here at the time of the counting of the votes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We don't have to do that much of a counting because
Well,
the
as a,
machine does most of it already.
no, but that, whatever they do at the end, the compilation. of it.
Right.
I have a question. The last time I served, the voting was counted like manual. Is there like upgrade of
Yes,
how
we-
it's gonna be this year?
Yes, we do. We have
Because-
machines
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Got machines?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We have machines now that do
And there,
count.
we will arrange for
Training,
for
yeah.
how to operate the machines, and there will also be a contractor here from the ballot machine company.
Right, to show you how to do it.
assist,
She's
during-
very good, at least the one.
She is good. Yeah, the one we had last year, she was very
Oh,
good.
wonderful, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
Miss-
3 years, I'm sorry, 3 years ago.
Last
Is that how long it was?
Yes,
Last
girl.
time.
3 years ago.
No, 2019. There had to have been an election in 2019.
That's 3 years ago. The mayor running again.
Yeah,
Then it was 2018.
yeah,
There was a special
2018.
election in 2018,
Oh,
but
yeah,
there was
that's
also
right, it
the
was.
regular election
No,
was
it was the
2019.
regular election.
Okay, then there was
It was the
19.
regular election, yeah.
19.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because the mayor had run. Because she
October-
was
No,
running.
no. Maybe it's the
Yeah.
was it regular?
Yeah.
It was a regular,
It was a
and
regular.
then
It was regular
after her
4
was
years
the
then.
special election.
Special election, yeah.
Was it special?
Yeah, the special election was Jocelyn and Merle.
Yes,
Yeah.
then we got rid of this.
Yeah. Oh, see, there you go. You had to go there. You had to go there.
Well, he's going there, so you might.
Well, you're about to get him back again.
No, the record
No,
is
we're
down,
not.
right?
No.
Now, I remind you, your terms of service are to oversee free and fair elections to all the certified candidates.
We're gonna be fair, Bob. We're gonna be fair.
They're always
I have
fair.
every confidence. The oath I swore was no different than the oaths you swore, so I appreciate
You
that.
done blacked her out. She can't see us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that, Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
know. We have to be nice.
Well-
We're judges.
Yes.
And I believe that's all the business I have for you all, unless there's anything else you can think of.
Yes, I have.
Approval of the minutes. There were some draft minutes provided to you
Yeah.
from the last meeting.
From
that
the
Kim-
last meeting, did everyone get a
Kim
copy?
provided. And,
Minutes from the last meeting?
One simple correction, my name has an E to the end of it, please. Clark, C-L-A-R-K-E. Thank you very much. I notice you come without the all the time. That's somebody else, not me.
Clark with an E.
That's right, thank you.
You got that.
Silence.
I don't think he got a copy. I think that's what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
I thought you would have done something today.
Mr. Owens, be nice.
Didn't we say that the, okay, this is from the last meeting.
Mm-hmm,
But didn't we just revise that the writing candidates is the 27th of September?
mm-hmm,
Oh, okay. I
Yes,
didn't-
ma'am.
Okay,
mm-hmm. If we have any.
yes. Oh, I see. Yes, I'm reading something. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's cool, no problem.
And as a reminder, Mr. Gray was here to operate the cameras and the microphones. So this is a public meeting and being recorded, even though we are closed to members only and support staff. This is viewable to the public, and so I just want to remind you all of that. And if there are any, are there any other changes or adjustments to the minutes?
Okay, I have a question. We know, at least I know, 3 of the candidates that are running. When do we get to meet the others before the election? I already know 3 of them that are running. I don't
I
know
guess-
the other 2.
So your role is to assure the free and fair conduct of the elections, and that is the mechanical process whereby candidates are filing and certified
Okay.
and voters cast their votes and obtain ballots, whether absentee or otherwise.
Okay.
So I'm not sure it's the candidate's obligation to introduce themselves to you in any formal way to the board.
Okay, okay.
Unless you.
It was just a
unless
question.
you require a mechanism for them to do that, and was that done in the past?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember, I don't,
I think some of them do come door to door, and that's how you meet them in the campaigning.
That's
Yeah.
the normal process,
Yeah.
yep. door to
Yeah,
door,
because
mailers.
they usually come up to the building, Emerson House, and, say I'm candidate so-and-so, and I'm running for this, that, and other. Yeah.
I know what it was. Wasn't there some event out here in the parking lot one time
Yeah.
where it was like a meet and greet the candidates?
Candidates, yeah.
It wasn't anything formal, but they were here,
And you could see
and you
who,
could come in, you could come drive up and introduce yourself
So-
and meet them,
right,
you know,
like that. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
what I'm wondering, is that
Was
going to
that
happen
done under the
again?
auspices of the board? Because,
No, I don't
again,
think so.
and with the COVID overlay,
All right.
I
No,
I am
well,
open to
okay.
direction,
I
but
keep
Yeah.
forgetting
there's
about
some
it.
challenges there.
Right. Okay.
So.
You're right about that, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Yeah,
all right.
there's a difference because of
That's all
COVID.
right, no
Yeah,
problem. You can still come and maintain a distance.
okay. Does
All right,
anyone
so-
else have any more questions? Oh, Ms. Williams.
because we are again faced with a COVID issue in PG County, and we are also faced with an election, upcoming election. How are we going to get the voters in safely distancing? Are we going to only let so many in at a time, or one at a time?
So, again, it's your formal role to make these decisions about the conduct of elections, and staff is here to help and advise. For those of us who participated in the 2020 national election, which involved county and state candidates as well, there was a process, and people came in, and we had tables and stations set up socially distant. People wore masks, and the town has a mask mandate that obligates everyone in public access areas of town hall to wear a mask. So we think there are some health precautions in place. I will say, most of the staff is
I think it
vaccinated.
depends on how many machines
That's
we
what I
have in
asked,
here
how many machines
at the
you gonna
time
have?
in order for
Right.
whoever's coming in. How many machines did they set up in here? I think they had, what, 4 the last time?
No.
Or
only
2?
One or
only had
two.
two.
One or
They
two,
had
I think.
two. It
was
One
only
or
one
two.
or
They only had
Two.
2.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
2,
one or
one for
two.
each ward.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was 2. It was
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, one,
So-
and it was marked for each group.
Mhm.
You know, there's frequently a check-in station by name, and you could do A to L and M to Z.
Right,
come right there
So
and do
there's,
it.
that's 2 spots where you can take 2 voters at a time, and then they would move to
right.
receiving a ballot and filling out the ballot, and then they would move to the machines. So, you know, there's potentially
So we're
6
saying
people
maybe 4
could all
people
be
at a
in the
time?
pipeline at a time,
4 people at a time?
and maybe 2 queued up. So, you know, that,
Okay.
we can work up some draft layout for you if you, again, being new, I'm not familiar with the layout that was set up for the prior elections, but this is something we can get additional input on from people who've been involved.
Yeah, because they have to be, you know, distant, so maybe,
My other suggestion is if we could have a large poster outside in the parking lot before you get to the door, reminding people masks are required. And if they don't have a mask, maybe we can have those
provide
masks
them, yeah.
Yeah. You can
provided
provide
with
one.
a trash can as they exit to drop their used masks in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we, you know, we keep the box available for visitors and, you know, others.
Yeah, because they need to have them on before they enter the building.
Yeah,
Okay, terrific. That's a great suggestion, yeah.
And
you
that
know,
might, if they know that the absentee ballots are available, that might cut down on the amount of people
exactly,
Coming to vote.
coming
That's
through
right.
the door.
yeah. 'Cause absentee,
Yeah,
that'd be even better.
you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes, but like last year, they had did the absentee and they still
I
came
know,
down to
I know.
vote.
Well,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They
that was a
still came
problem.
down to
Yeah.
vote.
That was a
But at
problem.
least
We know,
there's the opportunity
Yeah.
of
Right.
cutting down
The
the
numbers.
Right.
walk-in
the
traffic
numbers, right,
by the absentee
Yes.
ballots.
exactly. Okay. That will work.
Okay. So I think if there's a motion to approve the minutes, that would check that box. And again, you know, Ms. Green will be at your next meeting in person. She had previously scheduled leave for this week, so
Okay.
I wish her well. And Ray is here in a supporting role as well. And,
Thank you.
And I'll be here doing whatever I can behind the scenes to help make sure y'all are
Okay.
successful as always in conducting free and fair elections.
What do we do with
Does
this?
anyone have any more questions? Those are ours.
Oh, is it-
Those are our copies. Bob was nice enough to make all of us copies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any more questions before we close the meeting? Mr. Owens? No? Miss? I know what your question is, never mind.
My lips are sealed.
Do you have any
That
questions?
the other brain
Okay.
freeze.
I guess, you, Bob, you have any?
Only that if you could just take a vote to formalize approval of the
Oh,
minutes
okay.
with the addition of 3 extra E's every time Mr. Clark's name is mentioned. He's such a popular figure.
Okay.
And I might have missed one, but I'll do a search.
Can we all vote that
You in the wrong
everyone
field.
read the meeting, the notes?
Yeah,
And do we all agree?
yeah.
Yes.
All approve?
Aye.
Yay?
Aye.
Not approve? No, okay.
Thank you for that. Unless there's anything else, a motion to adjourn would be in order. And
You don't have anything else for us?
no, ma'am, I think that's it.
Okay. Okay, then, in that case, I motion that our meeting be adjourned. Can I get a second?
That's second.
All right. Meeting is
Meeting is
adjourned
adjourned.
until September the 1st at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Fantastic. Thank you all for your service.
Okay, here she got to get this question out. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. She wants to get the question. Come on, baby, give me the question.
No.
No.
Oh, no, that's different.
Yeah.
You have to get turned on.
Easy
Wait till it gets
recording.
turned up. The next one is September the 1st at 2 p.m.
I am.
I am.